Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2005 format. On one side, we've got the Nidoqueen deck as used by Jeremy Maron, the Masters Division World Champion of 2005, going up against the Medicham EX deck as used by Curran, the Junior Division World Champion. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account at Holland_Phantom so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with it out of the way, let's get into the battle. And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Nidoqueen side, we've got Nidoran as the active Pokemon with the Pidgey on the bench, and on the Medicham side, we've got Jirachi as the active Pokemon with the Meditite on the bench. The Medicham side is going first, activating Wishing Star on Jirachi, looking at the top 5 cards of the deck, and then they can choose one of those cards to add to their hand and shuffle the rest back into the deck. There's a chosen card, and now Jirachi does go to sleep after using the ability. A second Meditite comes down onto the bench, and a Fighting Energy comes down into one of them. And that's going to be the turn. In between turns, Jirachi does wake up, gets heads on the coin flip, and now over to Nidoqueen. Let's see what they can do. A Feebas comes down to the bench, and a Fighting Energy is coming down to the active Nidoran. The support is going to be Copycat to shuffle away the player's hand, and they can draw one card for each of the cards in the opponent's hand. There's the cards being drawn. 4 cards off the top, and let's see what they get. There we see the trainer, actually 2 of them, 2 Great Balls, searching the deck for 2 basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. So there we see a second Nidoran, and a third Nidoran. The player's getting their bench ready to start evolving into Nidoqueen. It's going to be the primary attacker of this deck. Let's see if we see any more cards coming down. Now it's going to be the attack. Look for friends. Now the player can reveal cards off the top of their deck until they reveal a basic Pokemon and then add that Pokemon onto their hand. And so far, it's a lot of cards revealed off the top of the deck, but still no Pokemon. Or rather, no basic Pokemon. There's another Nidoqueen, a Pidgeot, another Nidoqueen. Well, they're going through a lot of cards. Okay, we could be here a while, guys. Hold on. But we do get to see what's in their deck. There's Special Energy, and there we finally see a Pidgey. So if they choose to bench this Pidgey on the following turn, they will finally have a full bench. And now they have to take all of those revealed cards and shuffle them back into the deck. And there we go, turn passes back over to the Medicham side. Let's see what they can do. The player activates their supporter, Scott, to search their deck for up to 3 stadiums or supporter Pokemon. Sorry, supporter cards, not supporter Pokemon. Then we see an Island Cave, Wally's Training, and another Scott, all coming into the player's hand. And now Jirachi activates Wishing Star once again, looking at the top 5 cards and then keeping one of those cards in hand. There's the chosen card. And once the deck comes back down, Jirachi will be going to sleep once again. One of the benched Meditite does evolve into Medicham. It's going to be the main attacker of the deck, and Medicham gets a Fighting Energy. And that's going to be the turn. In between turns, Jirachi does not wake up, it remains asleep. And on the Nidoqueen side, the player activates Desert Ruins as their stadium. Now Desert Ruins is going to be hitting Medicham for 10 damage between turns. The active Nidoran evolves into Nidorina. It gets Grass Energy, and the second Pidgey comes down. And now there's the attack. It's going to be Fast Evolution, searching the deck for up to 2 evolved Pokemon to add to the player's hand. So there we see a Nidoqueen and another Nidorina. So we're going to be seeing some more evolutions coming down. Oh, wait, what's going on? Actually, wait, no, they're choosing not to choose the Nidorina, opting for a Pidgeotto instead. Okay, so there we go. Nidoqueen and Pidgeotto going into the player's hand, and now between turns, there's a coin flip and another Tails, so Jirachi still remains asleep. And between turns, the Desert Ruins also hits Medicham for 10 damage, and on the player's turn, Another Jirachi comes down, and the player activates Island Cave to replace Desert Ruins, followed by the supporter Steven's Advice, drawing 1 card for each of the opponent's Pokemon in play, so that's going to be 6 cards drawn. It's a really strong draw supporter. There we see a Metal Energy coming down to Jirachi, and with the effect of Island Cave, Jirachi does wake up. And now it can activate his Wishing Star ability once again. There's the chosen card off the top 5. And Jirachi will be put to sleep once again. But there we see the second Meditite on the bench evolving into another Medicham. And still no attack coming from the Medicham side. They pass their turn, and that was a head, so Jirachi does wake up. And over to the Nidoqueen side, one of the Pidgeys evolves into Pidgeotto. Actually, both of them evolve into Pidgeotto. Oh, but we don't see any Nidoqueen coming down. The player opts to use another fast evolution. They're choosing to add another... Actually, it's going to be their first Pidgeot. And another Nidorina. Evolving as many of their Pokemon as they can to power up Nidoqueen's Power Lariat attack later in the game. Now over to the Medicham side. Starting off by using Wishing Star again. It's going to be the 4th time being used this game so far. But as long as Jirachi remains asleep, it will not be able to retreat to promote one of the attacking Medicham. Oh, but next the players are going to be activating Swoop Teleporter to search their deck for another basic Pokemon. And Jirachi is going to be replaced by a Meditite. So let's see if the player has a third Medicham. And yes, they do! The active Meditite evolves into a third Medicham, gets fighting energy, so now it can start using its attack Pure Power. But first, there's going to be the supporter, another Scott, searching the deck for 3 more cards. TV Reporter, Team Aqua's Hideout, and another TV Reporter. So just building up their hands for a future turn. And there's the attack, Pure Power, placing 3 damage counters all on Nidorina. And now over to the Nidoqueen side. Pidgeotto evolves into Pidgeot, one of the bench Nidoran evolves into Nidorina, and the active one evolves into Nidoqueen. And there we go, we finally see the main Pokemon of the deck coming into play. Next, the player activates Steven's Advice to draw 4 cards from their deck. And also it's important to note that Medicham does have the Pokebody called Wise Aura, preventing any Pokemon on both sides from using their Poke Powers, which means that Pidgeot cannot use its Quick Search ability this turn. Okay, there's the attack from Nidoqueen. It's going to be Power Lariat, hitting for 90 damage. That's a massive attack. Energy Removal 2 is played by Medicham, but it does roll tails, so nothing happens. And next, the player activates TV Reporter, drawing 3 cards from the deck, and then they have to discard 1 from their hand. A Psychic Energy comes down to the benched Medicham, and the player uses Pure Power once again, hitting for another 3 damage counters, so Nidoqueen's up to 5. Also, I forgot to mention at the previous turn, the player did give Nidoqueen a heal energy to heal 10 damage off of it. On the Nidoqueen side, a second Nidoqueen comes down, and there's the attack Power Lariat, taking the first KO of the game, and taking 2 prizes. So Nidoqueen is taking the early lead. On the Medicham side, the second Medicham comes down, and the player activates Team Aqua's Hideout to replace their last stadium, and then they activate POW Hand Extension to replace the active Nidoqueen with the benched one that has no energy cards. Another TV Reporter is played to draw 3 more cards. A Fighting Energy comes down to the benched Medicham, and there's the attack. It's going to be Pure Power, placing 10 damage on the benched Nidoqueen, and the remaining 20 on the benched Nidorina, just spreading out the damage counter, so both of them are within range of taking a KO from Sky Kick. On the Nidoqueen side, the player activates another Desert Ruins, followed by the supporter Rocket's Admin. Now both players have to shuffle away their hands and draw 1 card for each of their remaining prizes. So Nidoqueen will draw 4 cards, Well, Medicham will draw 6. There's the cards being drawn by both sides. Let's see what Nidoqueen gets. A Grass Energy comes down to the active Nidoqueen. And it attacks with Toxic, poisoning Medicham, and it will be taking 20 damage between turns with poison, and another 10 from the Desert Ruins. So 30 damage between turns. And also the benched Medicham also takes 10 damage from the Desert Ruins as well. On the Medicham side, the player attaches a Psychic Energy to their benched Medicham, and they activate another Energy Removal 2. But it also comes up Tails, so nothing happens once again. No other cards are played. There's the attack. It's going to be Sky Kick, hitting Nidoqueen for 60 damage. The active Medicham takes 30 damage between turns, and the benched one takes 10. Celio's Network is played for the Nidoqueen side, searching the deck for a third Nidoqueen. So unless the player has a double Rainbow Energy in hand, the active Nidoqueen might be getting knocked out on the following turn. Yeah, it's going to be the pass of the turn. Toxic is going to be useless because Medicham is already poisoned, and there's the damage coming down between turns. The active Medicham is only down to 10 HP. Okay, there's another Energy Removal 2. And finally, they get heads, discarding the Fighting Energy from the bench Nidoqueen, so it will not be able to use his Power Lariat attack. A Metal Energy comes down to the benched Medicham, and there's the attack. Sky Kick, taking the KO against Nidoqueen, taking the first prize, but in between turns, all that residual damage comes down onto Medicham to knock it out, and Nidoqueen takes another 2 prizes. They're down to just 2 more. Now on the Medicham side, the player promotes Jirachi as her next Pokemon. Maybe? Looks like they're thinking about it. They have to be careful with this decision because if they promote Jirachi, it will activate Pidgeot's Quick Search ability. But if they promote Medicham, there's a chance of it getting KO'd on the following turn and just losing the game. But the player opted to just keep Jirachi in the active spot. And now because Medicham is on the bench, it can no longer activate its Pokebody Wise Aura, meaning that Pidgeot can finally use its Quick Search ability, searching the deck once per turn for any card they want. And the one chosen is going to be Milotic, which activates its own ability, Healing Shower, completely healing all the damage on the Nidoqueen on its own side. So it looks like promoting that Jirachi really cost the Medicham side. Next, the Nidoqueen player activates Copycat. Let's see how many cards are going to be drawing this turn. 5 cards. Did they get the Fighting Energy for the Nidoqueen to start attacking? Okay, Pidgeot will be retreating. Did they get the Fighting Energy? No, they don't. They're attacking with Toxic. Jirachi is going to be poisoned, taking 20 damage between turns. And Medicham takes 10 damage from the Desert Ruins. A Metal Energy was equipped onto Jirachi, which was immediately discarded to pay the retreat cost, promoting Medicham, and now Team Aqua's Hideout is played to replace the Desert Ruins, increasing the retreat cost of all Pokemon in play by 1. And now the player activates 2 POW hand extensions, moving both energy off of Nidoqueen onto Milotic, as Milotic is not used to attack in this deck, so those energy cards are going to be useless on it. There's the attack Sky Kick, hitting Nidoqueen for 60 damage. And another Desert Ruins comes down. The player does have a double Rainbow Energy, so Nidoqueen can use its Toxic attack. And between turns, Medicham takes 30 damage. Let's see what the Medicham side can do next. They're going to be paying the retreat cost to promote Jirachi, and Medicham is no longer poisoned. And Jirachi now activates Wishing Star. Looking at the top 5 cards of the deck once again to choose one, and now Jirachi is put to sleep, and the chosen card is going to be the Island Cave to replace the Desert Ruins. And hopefully this will give Medicham a little more longevity because it's not going to be taking so much damage. And now it's going to be the turn. In between turns, there's a coin flip, and it is tails. Jirachi does not wake up. And no cards are played from the Nidoqueen side. They're going straight for the attack. Toxic. And it looks like the player forgot to activate Quick Search. They were so used to having Medicham's Wise Aura ability shutting off the Pidgeot ability, they just forgot to use it. Okay, on the Medicham side, the player activates Pokemon Reversal, but it did nothing because they got a Tails on the coin flip, and now they're going to be using their supporter Rocket's Admin, shuffling away their cards in hand. Nidoqueen will be drawing 2 cards, and Medicham will be drawing 5. So hopefully this is going to be the comeback that Medicham needs. Jirachi gets a Fighting Energy to remove all special conditions from it with the Island Cave. And there's Wishing Star being activated once again. Let's see what they got out of this brand new card. And it's going to be an energy removal too. And it's heads that time, discarding the double rainbow energy off the Nidoqueen. So taking them back another turn. And that's going to be the pass of the turn. Jirachi goes to sleep, and between turns, it does wake up. So let's see what Nidoqueen can do on their side. Okay, this turn Pidgeot does activate his Quick Search ability, searching the deck for any one card. And the one chosen is going to be a Grass Energy, letting Nidoqueen attack with Toxic. So Jirachi will be getting KO'd this turn. Yep, and there's the attack, Toxic. 20 damage between turns knocks out Jirachi, and Nidoqueen is down to their final prize. While Medicham still has to take 5 more. A third energy comes down onto Medicham. No cards are played, and there's the attack, Sky Kick, taking a KO against Nidoqueen, and taking the second prize of the game so far. On the Nidoqueen side, Pidgeot comes up as a new active Pokemon, but because Medicham is in the active spot, Pidgeot cannot use his ability. The supporter for the turn is going to be Celios Network, searching the deck for Nidoran. Is it going to be coming down onto the bench this turn? There's the deck coming back down. And no, it's going to be it. No attack, and Nidoran does not come down onto the bench. On the Medicham side, another Meditite comes down. It gets the Metal Energy, and the player activates Pokemon Reversal. There's a coin flip, and it is heads that time, forcing the Nidoqueen to come up into the active spot. And there's the attack. Sky Kick, hitting it for 60 damage. So another Sky Kick will knock it out. Another Celios Network is played. Searching the deck for another Pokemon. It's going to be another Nidoqueen, which I believe is going to be the 4th one of the game. If they could get it into play. Okay, there's a Nidoran coming down. Oh, and they have the rare candy, so Nidoran evolves into Nidoqueen immediately. There's no energy for this active Nidoqueen to attack, so it's going to pass the turn. On the Medicham side, we get another Medicham coming down to the bench, and there's the attack, Sky Kick, taking the KO against Nidoqueen, and that's 3 prizes taken. Medicham might make the comeback. The Nidoqueen player activates Copycat to shuffle away their hand and draw some more cards out of their deck. 4 cards drawn. Let's see if they got any energies for Nidoqueen to attack with. Yes, there we see the Grass Energy coming down. So Nidoqueen will be able to use its Toxic attack. There it is, Toxic. Medicham is now poisoned, and it takes 20 damage between turns. It's down to just 10 HP. So if it passes the turn in the active spot, it will be getting KO'd. But now the player retreats it to get rid of the poison, and the new Medicham comes up into the active spot. It does only have 2 energy, so it can only use its first attack, Pure Power. That is 30 damage coming down to the active Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen gets a second Grass Energy. No other cards are played, and there's another Toxic. 20 damage comes down to Medicham. And still no Fighting Energy for Medicham, so it can't use the Sky Kick attack, but it does hit it with another Pure Power. Let's see what Nidoqueen can do on their side. Oh, nothing! They have no cards to play, and no energy either. So both Pokemon have taken 60 damage. A Jirachi comes down, and the player activates Swoop Teleporter. Probably as a way to just search their deck for any remaining resources. Jirachi is going to be getting replaced by another Jirachi, just to thin out their deck, and increase the chances of getting something they can use. Here we see a Psychic Energy coming down onto Medicham. It's not going to power up its Psychic attack, but it does trigger the Island Cave to remove the poison. There's Pure Power, putting 30 more damage on Nidoqueen. And still no energy for Nidoqueen. There we see another Toxic attack coming down though. Hitting Medicham for 20 more damage. And then we finally see the Fighting Energy. Healing the poison off Medicham, and there's the attack. It's going to be Sky Kick to take the KO against Nidoqueen. And Medicham is down to just 2 more prizes. And I believe the Nidoqueen side has no more Nidoqueen to use. Okay, Pidgeot is going to be retreating to promote Milotic. Do they have the double rainbow energy? Yes, they do! It looks like those energy removals from earlier in the game came back to bite them, because now Milotic is fully powered up to use this distorted wave attack and take the KO against Medicham. And there we go. They take the final KO and the final prize, and there's a handshake. Nidoqueen is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holland Phantom logging out.